Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing the film Femme, starring George McKay and Nathan Stewart Jarrett. The film follows a drag queen who gets assaulted outside of a convenience shop while dressed in drag, only then to encounter the main abuser at a gay sauna, and unbeknownst to the attacker, starts to develop a relationship with him in the hopes of exposing him and getting revenge for their assault. Femme is basically a British indie film. It's a very slick 90-minute revenge thriller. It's rated 18 in the UK. It is very hard-hitting, very brutal, and very explicit in its depictions of violence and sex. I went into this film more or less blind. I knew it was a British indie film. I knew it had got a lot of rave reviews. It seemed like a really interesting way to marry revenge thriller with timely social commentary in a way that felt fresh. But it is utterly captivating. It is a film all about masks, and whether that is in the form of our main character Jules and their drag act, and their empowering mask that they wear in that performance they put on for stage, or in the form of Preston, who is our main attacker, putting on this laddish, aggressive bravado to mask the repressed and closeted homosexuality within. The two are linked by the fact that they put on these artificial performances, but are incredibly different in the way and the why, and that provides some really fascinating character parallels throughout this film. I'd say this film feels very much like All of Us Strangers in terms of its approach to social commentary. It doesn't patronize or lecture, but it achieves that thought-provoking feeling purely by trying to be authentic to the characters it's exploring. George McKay and Nathan Stewart Jarrett are incredible in these roles. Both actors completely disappear into their performances. You can see and feel the repressed rage inside Preston. You can see the actual survival terror in Jules' eyes whenever they're with Preston. So much of this film is communicated in looks and body language because these two characters are unable to be completely transparent with each other. The basis for the entire relationship and Jules trying to get close to Preston is so that Jules can film them having sex and post that video in order to expose Preston and exact revenge by exposing him for being the very thing he abuses in others. Which means every scene with them is ripe with tension. You know their relationship is building towards this artificial end goal, but you also get a sense that Jules is finding a tenderness and is understanding Preston's repressed homophobia a lot more, to the point where it questions his own morals and the basis for this vendetta. The film is very minimal and simple, especially in terms of dialogue. A lot of the themes and a lot of the issues it just leaves simmering under the surface for you to kind of hypothesize on and dwell on. The film is entirely about these two characters and their relationship. Shooting this film predominantly at night also really gives the film a sense of mystery and eeriness, a sense of tension in and of itself. These characters who are lurking in the shadows and always suppressing an element of themselves that the other doesn't know about. The way that scenes are lit and create these deliberate kind of artificial lighting effects further lends itself to that idea of masks and shining a light on certain facets of yourself. The way it's shot also needs to be praised. It feels very visceral but very naturalistic. Honestly, I loved this film. It was short, it was sharp. It gets you immersed into this world and into the narrative arc very quickly off the bat, and then it just sustains your interest going through. I knew the drama was going to reach the point where a confrontation needed to be had, but I wasn't sure where it would end following that. And I think the ending brings it very full circle. It does leave you wanting more, because there is definitely an interesting story that picks up where this film chooses to end. But the ending in and of itself brings it very cyclical for both Jules and Preston's journeys. So I would say Femme is essential viewing, unless you're homophobic, in which case steer clear, it's probably not for you. It is just such a raw and authentic portrayal of repression and aggression, done through the lens of two absolutely riveting and fascinating characters, portrayed by actors whose chemistry is off the charts. So if you have seen it, guys, do drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Please also consider liking and subscribing to the channel. That is always a huge help for me. And in the meantime, we'll see you for the next vid.